right, let's talk about some stative verbs. Stative verbs are verbs that we usually don't put into present continuous or past continuous. We use them in the other tenses, but the reason we don't put them into the continuous tenses is because they are states of being. They are generally, they're about perception, cognition, having or being or taking a stance. So they are stative, not dynamic. Deserve. He deserves to pass the exam. He is deserving to pass the exam. Okay, let's talk about this one. He is deserving of passing the exam. Okay, if you say he is deserving of passing the exam, then you are using this deserving as an adjective, not as the verb. Okay, he deserves to pass the exam. This is correct, and deserves is being used as a verb. But he is deserving, that is now an adjective stating what kind of person he is. He is deserving of passing the exam. Okay? So this is now, we're using the ing form as an adjective. It is not a verb. It gets complicated. And that's why, I mean, we can make lists of these words are always verbs, these words are always nouns, these are always adjectives. But as soon as we put them together in a sentence and we show it in context, that all falls apart because we use our words differently depending on the context. So it may look like it, but we would never say he is deserving to pass the exam. We always say he is deserving of passing. And there's your key. Deserving to pass. Now we have the verb and an infinitive, and this doesn't happen in a continuous here. This is your verb and an infinitive, okay? Belong. Belong. This book belonged to my mom. This book wasn't belonging to my mom. Yeah, you just wouldn't say it in this sense. You would say, I have a great feeling of belonging. And that's now being used as a noun or an adjective. Disagree, same thing as agree. This would be a temporary situation. I'm disagreeing with you right now. Love. I love chocolate. I'm loving chocolate. Okay. So this, you eat the chocolate. Take a bite of the chocolate. Wow. I am really loving this right now. I'm just loving I'm loving me some chocolate. Very colloquial, and it adds emphasis. Okay, I love chocolate is a statement that just goes on forever. But you know what? I don't always love chocolate. Chocolate has to be something that I enjoy once in a while. But when I eat that chocolate once in a while, I really love the chocolate. I'm loving that chocolate right now. Okay, matter. Matter has a couple of different meanings, but when you use the word matter in as a verb, matter means important. It doesn't matter means it's not important. So we would never say it wasn't mattering. So anytime you see matter, think important. What's the matter? Means there's a problem. Do I matter to you? Am I important to you? You tried. That's what matters. You tried. That's what's important. Black lives matter. Black lives are important. You matter. You are important. Okay, this is how we use matter as a verb. Mean. Mean as in its definition. Furious means really mad. Okay, words change meanings. However, they don't change very fast. So we would never say furious is meaning really mad. When means the definition, it's going to be in the simple tense. You're not going to put it in a progressive tense. Measure. The window measures 24 inches. The window is measuring 24 inches. Okay, this, you will hear it, but you generally don't write it. This is something that you will hear people say. And that's just fine. It usually would happen when the person just measured it. And he's like, I'm getting 24 inches. I'm measuring 24 inches. The window is measuring 24 inches. You see that? It's in the process. But since the window can't do the measuring, we generally wouldn't put it in a progressive tense, except in a colloquial way. You will hear this. Now, I want to make a point, and this is something about language learning in any language. There are mistakes that you can make that are like, I have no idea what you're saying. I do not understand you because you made a mistake. And then there are mistakes that you can make where the listener will still understand you. They'll get most of what you mean. Go, yep, I understand now. Okay. This is the second kind of mistake. The first kind of mistake where I'll tell you when you make a big mistake, that means it gets in the way of comprehension between two people. But if you make a mistake that is just a grammar error when you're speaking, people can still understand you. That's a little mistake, and I don't really want you to worry about them. Worry about them when you're writing, when you can sit down and really think about them. But when you're speaking, I make grammar mistakes all the time when I speak. Not, and I'm a native speaker. Everybody makes grammar mistakes. But there are mistakes that will make it so you cannot be understood. And those are not the kind of grammar mistakes a native speaker would ever make. Or a non-native speaker that speaks well. So watch the big mistakes. The little mistakes, just tuck them in the back of your head. And when you're reading and you see something that you don't quite understand, or when you're listening and you hear something you don't quite understand as far as grammar goes, then ask the question and do a little more research. Okay, we've got love. We talked about love. Let's see. Mind. Okay, so this is a picture of somebody's mind. Mind and a brain are the same thing. But if you use mind as a verb, it's going to mean two things. It could mean bother. So mind can mean bother. And mind can also mean look after or watch. For example, this woman here is supposed to be minding the child, but she's not. She's on the phone. Okay. She's supposed to be looking after the child, but she's not. Um, does it look like she minds that the child is misbehaving? Is that bothering her? Does she mind it? Okay. So I just used it in both ways. She is supposed to be minding the child. We mind our manners. And you would say, I behaved so badly at that dinner last night. I really wasn't minding my P's and Q's. That's a sentence you might hear or say. I wasn't minding the time. I wasn't looking after the time. Okay. Bother. Do you mind? Does it bother you? She isn't minding the noise. You would never say. She doesn't mind the noise. You would say. But that all means bother. Look after is a different verb, the minding. And that one is a dynamic verb. So you might hear minding isn't minding. She isn't minding her child. Okay? That's how we would use it. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am creating an English program. You can find information about it at thezarden.com, and like and subscribe to this video to see all of my videos. If you want them curated in a progression, then go to my website to find out all the information about our conversation classes, and for all languages actually, but conversation classes, and for our upcoming English program that we teach online. I'm excited about this opportunity for you and for me, and I hope to work with you in the future. See you, and like and subscribe so you can keep getting my videos. Talk to you later. Bye.